Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, I'm excited. For the first time in a couple years, I'm getting back on my Mustang a little bit here. I bought some parts to hopefully get it further down the road and getting it fixed. But one of the main reasons why I shut this whole car down was because there is so much rust in this tank that it was clogging up the carburetor, and I was literally, between going to work and coming home from work, would, clear out the fuel filter. I kept like 2 or 3 fuel filters that I kept kind of cleaning out the best I can and replacing them just to get back and forth to work and be able to drive this car. And that's when I finally had a fire in the motor, carburetor fire, and that's when I just decided it was time to shut this thing down and work on it. But right now we are working on getting this out of here, the fuel tank out of here. So first I'm going to start by vacuuming up all the crap just to kind of get it out of my way. Make sure there's little plugs and parts and pieces in here. This is actually from the inner wheelhouse on the quarter panel that I started replacing. I started this Mustang pre-internet, let alone pre-YouTube, so that shows how long I've had this Mustang. Let's get the tank out and try not to get tetanus while we're doing it. Well, tetanus may be on the table. I'm gonna go clean that up. There's a bunch of jagged metal down in here. I was trying to be careful, but something reached out and grabbed me. Right here and over here, there are a couple clips here that can be bent out, and we will grab the wiring harness that's going over here out of there so it doesn't hopefully get hooked onto anything. And mine has what appears to be about 11, I believe, 3/8 screws going through all the way around. I'm just gonna start on one side and go around. Technically, this should be kind of have like a butyl or some sort of caulking around here, but I don't think, and I do think I'm right, it does not. Somebody's pulled this out and just slapped it in through the screws in. That makes my life easier. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag. I labeled where it goes and also how many of each thing is in there. I got the wires out of my way. Quite honestly, you'd probably want to take this off and put it somewhere. I bought a new one, so I don't need this, although I'm going to keep this clamp. These clamps actually can be hard to find these days anymore, some of these older ones, so don't throw those kind of things away. And honestly, this is going to sit outside and not get thrown away until this Mustang is done, because I truly believe there could be a part, a piece, a measurement I need to take off of this. There could be all kinds of things on here that I would like to look at or revert back to, I think is the word. So I just don't throw anything away until the project's done, and I would strongly recommend that as well. Now, yet again, you would probably be in here. You would need to get yourself some small pry bars, some screwdrivers, or something like that, because underneath there should be something similar to this right here. This is a butyl tape is what I've always known it as. This is some old stuff I actually got free in a box somewhere, and I'm hoping it works for this. You can buy it. When you buy your tank, it won't come with it, so you need to buy it if you need something to do that with. Here's the story about Mustangs. As you can kind of see down here, you can see clear through into the back seat. Now, I am going to buy the fire panel that goes in here. I'm actually going to make one. I'm not going to buy one, but that's up to you. They did have problems being hit in the rear end, which this Mustang was. And then this tube that goes from here out back here would pop off or break loose, or this would break, and it would throw gasoline all over people in the back seat. and then they would catch on fire. That is a story I've heard. Don't know as I've ever really looked it up to see if it's verified type story, but it is a story that these cars tend to come with. Beyond that, fumes can come up through into the bottom of this, around this, and into your car, especially if it's like this one where the exhaust comes out back behind the tires here, I think. It doesn't come all the way out, so then you're pumping a bunch of exhaust fumes up into your trunk, which will go sooner or later into your car. So it is a good idea to seal these back up. You're going to take your pry bars and your screwdrivers and whatever you want to do. I would probably start from the back personally, because that'll be easier to probably pry up on some. And again, we need to make sure we're being careful with these wires here, because it's going to be harder to get here and here. That's more of a straighter shot to at least start prying on some things. And it's probably going to be a pain in the butt. I'm just going to say you're responsible for your own safety when it comes to this. I have an empty tank that's been empty for 20 plus years. I'm pretty sure most everything's evaporated out of there, so I'm not too worried about it. And I don't need to do this anyway, but you got to be careful with sparks and all that kind of stuff. But what I was going to say, take a heat gun, you can heat it up, and that'll make it more pliable. Bring it back to life a little bit, might make it a little bit easier to get done. But make sure you're doing everything you need to do to be safe. You are responsible for your own safety. If you don't like the way I tell you or am doing something, I am not responsible. You are responsible for your own safety. So I'm going to pull up on this and bring it for, oh, you know what? And unfortunately, I didn't think about this. So don't do what I did and grab a hold of the tank and try and pry it out of there. We got to unhook the fuel lines underneath. Well, hopefully you can see all this. And that wire that's actually going all the way across the bottom of the trunk comes out over here and then comes back to here is your sending unit wire, which is also hooked right there to the tank, I believe. No, that's just a hook on the body. So what we need to do here, and I can't see what you can see, but I'm pretty sure this just pulls off of here. But it's been on here for a long time, so yeah, that pulls off of there. I have no idea if any of this is working or not. And then we have this. I got all new stuff here, and I'm not going to try and save this little piece of hose, so quite honestly, I'm going to cut it right through there and deal with all the rest of this later when I can get this thing up on my lift. So now we've gone underneath, we've unhooked everything we need to unhook. So this should be ready to pull out. Now, yet again, if yours had the butyl, you'd be working harder at this, but mine doesn't. So we're going to pull that out, bring it forward, and I'm going to go take this crushed up, banged up piece of junk, rusty junk, outside. And in case any of you thought, oh, you can go through and put stuff in there and fix it and blah blah blah, it's not only got lots of crap in it, but it also has a big old dent in it as well. So it's not worth my time. Well, YouTube, I'm standing here behind my Mustang. As you can see, contrary to what it looks like, I am actually getting more done, but I realize it's been probably a little less than a year since I've filmed this video, basically, and it's already getting longer than most people watch, to be honest. And I've also come to find out there's a little more rust back here than I hoped, and to fix that I'm gonna have to leave the tank out so I can reach stuff better. So I'm not gonna be putting it in this video. So hopefully you enjoy learning how to take it out. I got quite a while to go till I'm going to be putting it back in. Otherwise, you know, go check out my Mustang videos on my 65 Mustang playlist, and you'll be able to find out what I've already done, what's going to happen hopefully here in the pretty near future, I've kind of, you can see it's kind of a mess back here. I've kind of walked away from the back a little bit, so it is going to be a little while. But I'm on the front right now, getting this thing to hopefully run pretty soon. So looking forward to that. So go check out my Mustang playlist, and hopefully you'll find this thing running at some point soon, or have already been running. Well, you'll have to figure it out. Go check out my playlist. Alright, thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and obviously master of none. You all have a good one.